Today, we are diving deep into the world of social media marketing, content strategy, and the evolving role of platforms like LinkedIn and AI in achieving business growth.
A lot of organizations are, I'll call it checking a box. We've set up our social accounts, we're publishing content randomly, erratically, inconsistently, versus mapping their activity in social to business outcomes. And so they shouldn't treat it as a separate activity, separate silo.
Now, you also have a very compelling case study about Facebook paid advertising and how it helped a publicly traded mining company significantly increase its awareness and market cap.
And so we did a series of 8 campaigns over 6 months. We targeted 2 audiences, the traditional mining investor audience and the clean tech EV sustainability interested audience. And over that series of campaigns over 6 months, raised awareness. We saw increased volume of discussion about them on discussion forums.
Hi, this is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the essential strategies and innovations driving business success in today's digital age. Today, we are diving deep into the world of social media marketing, content strategy, and the evolving role of platforms like LinkedIn and AI in achieving business growth. Now, recent trends highlight the increasing importance of a strong online presence for businesses of literally all sizes and the need to adapt marketing efforts to new technologies and consumer behaviors. This discussion today will provide valuable insights for entrepreneurs looking to enhance their digital footprint. Joining us today is Andrew Jenkins, CEO and entrepreneur, international speaker, university instructor, podcast host, and author of Social Media Marketing for Business, scaling an integrated social media strategy across your organization. Today we'll discuss social media, content marketing, LinkedIn, and AI. So before further ado, let's begin. Firstly, Andrew, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Andrew, your expertise spans various aspects of digital marketing, right? Let's start by exploring the fundamental role of social media in today's business landscape. What advice do you have for businesses, who are creating content but mindlessly so? How should they begin their process?
I think you chose a good word, mindless,
Yeah.
in that a lot of organizations are, I'll call it checking a box.
Right.
We're doing social, or we've set up our social accounts, we're publishing content, randomly, erratically,
Right.
inconsistently, versus mapping their activity in social to business outcomes.
Right.
And so they shouldn't treat it as a separate activity, separate silo. They need to make sure that it's an overlay to their overall marketing efforts, and that there's, call it performance measurement, so that they're marrying what we're doing in social to what we want to see as a business outcome.
That's a very practical and real advice. Now, let's shift our focus to platforms that offers tremendous potential for business growth. Beyond general social media, LinkedIn offers unique opportunities, right? Particularly for B2B. For business owners and professionals looking to generate leads and build their brand, what are your top strategies for effectively leveraging LinkedIn to achieve those goals?
A company page on LinkedIn is great to have. It's free.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a free digital outpost. Within that, you can have showcase pages. So if you wanted pages for products, lines of service, you can
Right.
have all that. Again, free. You can now also have a premium page that gives you some enhanced features and so on. But a lot of the value of LinkedIn will come not from the company page, no disrespect to that,
Right.
but from the activity of yourself as a founder or leader
Right.
and other members of your team that are collectively sharing content, and but also putting their spin on it. People buy from people, not from the company page.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that your team are acting as ambassadors and advocates, because their cumulative networks will have far more reach organically
Right.
than your LinkedIn page ever will.
Hmm.
Without that, that's not counting paid strategies.
No. That definitely makes sense. But what do you think with this AI coming into the picture? How important do you think is the human element, especially when we talk about new platforms emerging every single day when we wake up.
AI is very helpful
Yeah,
for automation,
right.
brainstorming,
Yeah.
productivity, but if you allow it to replace you, then you're foregoing authenticity. And again, people buy from people. I'm
Right.
not buying from a bot. So if you're using a bot to comment on my posts
Right.
to make it look like you looked at my profile,
Right.
again, you're doing a disservice because it's not going to be a legitimate connection.
Mm.
And you can see through if a bot's done the commenting. So again, I'm not going to buy from someone I haven't built rapport and trust with.
Right.
So, unfortunately, as much as people might hype it up, AI is not going to build the rapport and trust for you.
I agree with you. But what about AI specifically in the context of digital marketing
Hmm.
today? And what exactly do you think that businesses should be aware of regarding the opportunities and challenges of integrating AI into the marketing strategies?
So, I use AI every day,
Yeah.
but let me give some more context. I use ChatGPT for analytics,
Yeah.
brainstorming, and ideation. I use it to help optimize prompts that I may use there as well as on other platforms.
Right.
We use Perplexity for research,
Right.
deep research,
Right.
and we use Claude to help with writing.
Hmm.
But we don't use any of it to author original content.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
We use it to brainstorm content that we will then go and write ourselves
Right.
or create ourselves or to inform the creation of that. And we'll use it to derive social copy
Hmm.
from some of those things. But we just have not been willing or comfortable to hand it over because there's still telltale signs. We've seen proof that human written content still outperforms AI generated content.
Very interesting. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere because let's continue the conversation with Andrew Jenkins.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us, us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
All right, we're back from the break. Without further ado, let's get back into the conversation. Now, you also have, a very compelling case study about Facebook paid advertising, and how it helped a publicly traded mining company significantly increase its awareness and market cap. Go ahead and share those details in what the story was.
So we were working with a publicly traded mining company that was in the battery metals space,
Okay.
and the battery metals was important to the electric vehicle and battery related
Right.
industry. But they were known as a mining company, but they had this new patent pending technology that would be interested beyond a mining investor audience.
Hmm.
So we worked with them to develop a series of ad campaigns on Meta,
Right.
which is the more cost effective, the broader reaching platform for investors. And so we did a series of 8 campaigns over 6 months. We targeted 2 audiences: the traditional mining investor audience
Hmm.
and the clean tech EV um, sustainability interested audience.
Right.
And over with that series of campaigns over 6 months, raised awareness. We saw increased volume of discussion about them on discussion forums, and they saw daily trading volume in their stock increase. They saw their stock price, triple,
Right.
and they added over $200 million to the market cap in that period.
Wow.
Now, I can't draw a straight line between this
Right.
ad caused John Smith to buy
No,
10,000
no, of
shares,
course, it's a
but
cumulative effect that you see, right?
exactly. But that's what happened in parallel to the awareness campaign.
Wow, and that's, a remarkable success story. It clearly demonstrates, the tangible ROI that, strategic digital advertising can deliver even in unexpected industries,
Mhm.
right? Now that we've seen the power of digital advertising in action, let's dive into some insights from your book and courses. The lessons you've gathered from your work as an author and an instructor. By identifying, common mistakes, businesses can steer clear of costly missteps, and often it takes years for an entrepreneur to realize that. What do you think are some of the common pitfalls or mistakes that businesses make and keep repeating them, especially about their social media strategy, and what do you advise them to do?
As organizations get larger,
Yeah.
oftentimes, again, they're treating social as a checking a box.
Right.
Members of the social media marketing team don't have a seat at the table, and it's an afterthought. And if they were involved early, they could share where and how social can complement what the overall marketing strategy might be. The other thing is, sometimes you can fall into a trap of over engineering it, overthinking it,
Right.
where there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
And suddenly, oh, there were 10 people involved in that blog post that was shared once. And
Right.
nobody quantifies that, or they rarely think about, oh boy, that was a lot of time and energy, versus there's sometimes don't overthink it. You can actually err on the side of just ship it
Right.
and get the material out.
Right.
So those are some of the pitfalls that I think people need to be more cognizant of.
Hmm. Also, um, what do you recommend? Do you think digital marketing is more about the story part of it, or how exactly you're investing and in what platforms?
So I don't think companies in this day and age can be on one
Yeah.
platform, but I don't think you have to be on 10. I usually advise organizations listen first, see where your audience is congregating, where they're active, and then once you've identified where they're active,
Hmm.
what kind of content are they engaging with? What formats? Is it video? Is it audio? Do they like to just read a blog post? So to think about what kind of content that they're accessing, and is it you know a 30-second video clip,
Right.
or is it a 3-hour podcast, or
Hmm.
anywhere in the middle?
Right.
The other thing to think about.
But do you think that short format content is taking over the long format content, especially because attention span these days is 30 seconds or
Right.
less?
I think the long form is more the exception than the rule, and I think the short form, people want snackable.
Right.
Even for my own podcast, we're sending people we're sending out teaser content, a 30-second soundbite, whether it's video or audio,
Right.
and then here's where you can go to watch or listen to the full episode, should you choose.
Okay.
And so we recognize that garnering attention has to be short form. It's like stopping the scroll.
Right.
People are very fast with their thumb. What are you doing to get them to slow down a bit? And it has to be visually engaging.
Very interesting. Now, before we let you go, Andrew, you are filling so many roles. You're a CEO, you're an entrepreneur, you are, a university teacher, you also have your own podcast. How do you keep it all going? How do you find that synergy, and how do you balance your time with all these things?
Well, I do have a team that works with me,
Right.
so I can delegate some of the client work,
Right.
and play to your strengths. So I focus on what I can do and what I do well, and what I can't delegate because it involves me. For example, I do a lot of LinkedIn training for salespeople in financial services
Hmm.
and salespeople.
Right.
I can't delegate that because of
Of course, yeah. The
that.
expertise is with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we have multiple clients, and so members of my team have their collection of clients to support. But I'm involved in every client, but I delegate a lot to a very capable team, and so that's very helpful. And we'll use the podcast as an example. I have the discussions with my guests,
Right.
but the post production it doesn't involve me.
No,
So
of course not.
I have to be able to take
Yes,
it
your
on.
time is very valuable and it has to be used very
Yeah.
strategically, right?
So, for example, when you talk to any entrepreneur, they can't grow their business unless they get out of their own way.
Right.
So I taught a program on entrepreneurship at OCAD University, teaching to industrial designers, photographers, painters, printmakers, and so on. A very, very creative cohort of students. And I would say to them, there will come a time if you want to grow your business when you will move from doing the work
Right.
that you love to managing people that will now do it for you.
Right.
And it's okay if you don't want to make that step or that leap,
Hmm.
but recognize that in order to grow a business, if that is your objective, there are certain decisions that will have to be made, and the implications or the impact of those decisions will mean, oh, I don't get, I, you know, I'm now watching people do the work I used to love.
Right.
And some people are prepared for that, not everyone is.
Right. So how was the leap for you personally?
It's been very organic.
Right.
Some entrepreneurs, they write a business plan and so on, and I don't begrudge them that. My evolution into the business that I now have, it began in management consulting. I got a project related to social media, and I essentially got paid to become an expert in social
Wow.
media. And then more and more of my consulting and management consulting clients started asking about social. We started doing audits, competitive analysis, and strategy related to that.
Right.
And then it became apparent that a lot of organizations didn't have the time, expertise, or bandwidth to do social. So proposed, would you like it done for you? And that, again, evolution number 3 kind of thing became the bulk of our business.
Wow. Very interesting. Did you always wanted to become an entrepreneur? Did you know it as a child?
This is my second go as an entrepreneur. I started my own e-commerce company selling menswear on the internet in 1995.
Wow.
I like to say 1995 BG, before Google. And
I wasn't even born then. So.
well, it was a different period. There was no social.
Yeah.
There was no Google.
Right.
There was no Shopify.
Right.
But
Of course, yeah.
it was when the internet was just emerging, and I was just struck by curiosity. And but I did it for a couple of years, went into corporate, and then a little over a decade later, did it again and have never looked back.
Amazing. Finally, Andrew, before we let go, if there's one piece of advice that you want our listeners to, act on after listening to this podcast episode, what would it be and why?
It's a very simple thing: consistency. There are so many examples when you look at someone's personal activity on LinkedIn or a company's activity in social more broadly,
Right.
that they are inconsistent with their effort. And so it's kind of like you're turning your community or your audience on and off.
Right.
And you don't post anything for 6 months, people will move on.
Yes, they'll forget about you, right? And that's the hard truth of this life. But again, Andrew, thank you so much for being on this episode. It was an absolute pleasure having you, and we really enjoyed the conversation and your expertise.
So did I. Thank you very much.
All right, that was an insightful conversation with Andrew Jenkins, CEO, on mastering social media marketing, leveraging LinkedIn, and understanding the role of AI in driving business growth. His insights provide valuable guidance for businesses navigating the digital landscape. We also want to congratulate Andrew on winning the Clutch Global Award for 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, and we really appreciate your continued support. Also, be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. Also, don't forget to visit our website, canadiansme.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, and Google, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses. Until next time, keep innovating and striving for success, and we'll see you in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.